And we're live. We're live. We're live.
Woo, we're live.
Hi guys. So my name is TRINH. You're on my channel Transformers, and today I'm here to host the Chain of Iron live show. As you can see, we have our fellow co-hosts, and it's really exciting. So let's do like a quick basic introduction. So your channel. And then also, if you have created a Chain of Iron contest, like a video or like a reel or anything like that, you can of course talk about that. Because I actually link everyone's like Chain of Iron videos in the description box below. So you can open that up and you see the channel link, and then the Chain of Iron like reading vlog, or like, actually it's mostly reading vlogs for everyone. So there's that. And then thoughts on the book, Chain of Iron, spoiler free, of course. And then real quick, if you prefer Chain of Gold or Chain of Iron right now, because 2 books are out. So of course, you know, you're gonna pick one, but you know, it's gonna be interesting because I'm sure everyone has different opinions. And yeah, that's basic introduction. So Sandy, you can start.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Sandy from the channel Sandy Reads a Lot. And I do have a reading vlog for Chain of Iron. It's like 30 minutes long. So if you're going to watch that, grab a snack or something. And my brief thoughts on Chain of Iron, I really loved it. I do prefer it over Chain of Gold because Chain of Gold was more of like an introduction to all these new characters. And there's a lot of characters in the series. So I feel like with the second book, we know them a little bit more. So I just really love the characters, and I enjoyed the murder mystery plot, and I'm excited to talk more about all of that later on in this live show.
Okay, Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma from the channel Emma Books. I have filmed a Chain of Iron reading vlog, but I have not uploaded it yet, so it'll take some time there. But super fun, and I also loved Chain of Iron. Of course, my most anticipated book of the year. And I feel like it's really hard to compare Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron. Like, they feel very consistent to me, which is a good thing. But I feel like I had more of an emotional connection to the characters in Chain of Iron, but I would have liked it to be more plot-based. I feel like that's how I feel about it. Like, I loved the characters and the character interactions, but I would have liked more plot moving it along. But I still thought it was a fantastic story. And, like, the last, like, I think quarter of the book just like had me yelling and screaming. And it was so intense, and like what I would have wanted from all of it. It was so good.
Yeah. Me, Tiffany.
Hi everyone, I'm Tiffany at Read by Tiffany. I'm not super active on YouTube, but I am active on Instagram. I have an unboxing for Chain of Iron. I would say both books were like pretty like head to head for me throughout the entire, until like the last 100 pages. I was just going like, what? Oh my God, what's going on? And that's when it kind of pushed Chain of Iron like a little bit more for me. So yeah, super excited to discuss this further.
Hannah.
Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. My channel is A Clockwork Reader, and I have an hour and 15-minute long reading vlog for Chain of Iron, which is excessively long, I know, but I had a lot of thoughts. And I also think it's really hard for me to compare Chain of Iron and Chain of Gold, because I agree with Emma. I think they're very consistent in my head. They just feel like one long like story. It doesn't feel like 2 separate books to me. But right now, I think I prefer Chain of Gold to Chain of Iron a little bit. Mostly just because like I really like first books, and I feel like having that like introduction and meeting all of those characters was just such like a good experience. And I'm so mad at the end of this book that like I can't prefer it, even though the ending of Chain of Gold wasn't like great either. But right now I think I prefer that one a little bit.
Okay. Hi, my name is TRINH. You're on my channel Transformers. I created a Chain of Iron. I'm getting the names mixed up. A reading
I
vlog.
always do. I always do.
So I created a reading vlog for Chain of Iron, and then I also filmed a book review and discussion. I just haven't. Well, I'm editing it right now. I filmed it. I just haven't uploaded it yet. But I'm planning to get the video up next week, so I'll have like the link to that in the description box below. Also for Emma, when you upload your reading vlog, I will also put it in the description box below of this.
You're sweetie.
It's right now. It says coming soon.
Always coming soon.
For it's just coming soon. And then my thoughts for this book, spoiler free. So I will say, I know that it's, you know, it focused on the characters, but as I'm reading this book, I just wanted more action scenes, and we didn't really get that until like towards the end for that like one scene. And I remember being like, wow, finally. But then like it felt like it ended quickly too. So then after that, I'm like, wait, we're almost at the end. Is that the only action scene we're getting in this book? So I was like a little bit frustrated regarding that. But again, like I don't hate this book because I do like the characters. So I like the drama. And like I do. Okay, for Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron, I think I like the first one, Chain of Gold, just because it's like a nice mix of like we focus on the characters, but then we also have more action scenes, more fighting scenes, and I prefer the pacing of Chain of Gold because I actually reread Chain of Gold before reading this, so I'm leaning towards Chain of Gold. So that's my opinion. Hi everyone in the live chat. So I think that's like the basic introduction for everything. So now we're coming to the spoiler section. So everything that happened in this book, we're gonna talk about it. So if you have not read this book, then I recommend you to not watch this live show because like we're gonna go with everything. But if you have if you have read this book, then of course please stay for the live show because we're going to discuss everything. And also if you have not read this book, we will obviously this live show will be saved to my channel, so you can of course just go back and like watch this. So I think that's good. Yeah, introduction for everyone.
Sounds good to me.
Let's talk about spoilers.
Yeah, so now we're just gonna talk about everything. So please leave if you don't want to be spoiled. This book is long, is painful, but in the best way. It's also like really good. Like
Really good.
you know, the angst, the frustration, feelings, all of it's been a while since like I've like thought about this book, but
Same.
Yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, please leave if you have not read this book. Sorry, I'm getting things mixed up. I was gonna say watch the live show. Oh my god. Please leave if you have not read this book. Okay, so yeah, we're just okay. Where should we start? I don't know. No.
I have come across some Matthew hate, and I love Matthew. I love Matthew as an individual character, but I'm not here for Matthew and Cordelia romance. Like I don't want it. I want them to be wonderful platonic best friends.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be so mad in Chain of Thorns if they like kiss or develop some like romantic relationship. Like I'm not here for it. But I don't want to kick him in the shins.
I don't either.
Precious.
I really just want to take him and like shake him for like a second and be like, you need help. You need to like address your issues with alcohol. This needs to be like addressed. And also you're not in love with Cordelia. Like you're not. And you need to work through this because you need to listen to James. You were so rash. Like, I don't know why you all just ran away instantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's frustrating, but I love him so much. I don't understand why people hate him.
Yeah, his character is so heartbreaking too, especially everything that he's gone through. And then like obviously seeing how he's coping with everything. It's just so heartbreaking. And I just want to give him a hug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask, did anyone see him being like, Cordelia, I love you? Like that whole thing in the final chapter, was anyone surprised?
No, I saw it coming. I knew that Matthew had feelings. Does that mean that you like were shocked?
I was surprised. It's mostly I saw the signs. There were signs, and I see them all. But I'm like, nah. So like, imagine my horror when I read the last chapter, and he's like, Cordelia, I'm love you. I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like I see it. Like I was really shocked though, because I was like, wait, what the hell? And the next thing you know, he's like, let's go to Paris together. I'm like, why?
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, also like
I feel
Cassie. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Tiffany.
I was gonna say that Cassie's like well known for being like writing the love triangles, and I was like, we haven't really gotten that yet, so that's where it's probably gonna come in with that in here.
Yeah, I was like, to follow up on that, I was just gonna say like we already had the kind of parabatai love triangle in the Infernal Devices, so I wasn't thinking that Cassie was going to introduce like another type of parabatai love triangle thing in this book, but she did it.
She would.
Yeah, and what's funny was that I annotated my ARC copy, but then I would I transfer it to my final copy. And on page 26, I want to point out that there's like a scene where like Cordelia was about to kiss Matthew on the cheek, but he turned his head last minute, and I was like, I forgot about that.
I forgot about that too.
I had that in my original vlog, and I was like, I don't even know if I want to keep this in here because I don't even want to think about it. So I cut it out. But yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, like the first time I read it, I was like, huh. And then when I saw it again, I was like, so there were signs. I just ignored them all. And then on page 418, basically this is when Matthew and James, they were fighting, and Matthew said, if you don't love her, then let someone else love her, like along that line. And I was like, suspicious. But again, I refuse to like to acknowledge it. So yeah, like again, there were signs. I literally choose to like look the other way, and I look like a clown at the end, like a complete clown. When they're like, oh yeah, that was a little bit hard.
I have to say, one of the most like emo parts of them running off to Paris for me was when Cordelia was like, I'll come with you, but no drinking. Like that really like shook me and like hurt my heart. I was like, oh my God, like she just wants the best for him. And I feel that like this could be so good for him. So that's something that just like so many daggers to the heart in the last chapters of those books. But that was something that like really affected me.
Yeah.
The thing that really gets me about that relationship is that like on Cordelia's end, like, because at least from like my perspective, she like doesn't fully have an understanding of her like own father's addiction, and then like running away with Matthew, who has the same addiction that her father had, and like not fully comprehending it, like telling him like basically like don't drink for me is essentially what she's saying, and she doesn't comprehend that that's not how that works. Like it's not how it works, and it's not going to end well, and it's so heartbreaking. It makes me so sad.
Hi, Jasmine. And then Maddie, say something.
No Matthew slander. No Matthew slander.
I don't know. It does suck because like it feels like that, but I don't think that's like the purpose of having his character in here. You know, because like I do believe that I have to believe that he will get better, because it's like. And then also I do feel bad because of like the guilt that he's been carrying for like the past like 2 or 3 years with his mom and the baby inside her, you know, and how like that whole thing came about. It was honestly really sad. So yeah, I know I do want to see him get better. I don't know, maybe because he's just like angry all the time. Like Cordelia is like married to James, and I don't know. And then also in this book, he got into a fight with his parents like a few times, and it's to the point where he moved out and he moved into another flat. So I just think that like he's going through it in this book like so much. So I think he's just, I don't know, not always angry, but it feels like that. So maybe that's why he just messed things up. No, I don't want to say that, but like, you know, he. Like with the whole Thomas and Alistair thing, Matthew is in there being very protective of Thomas, and then with James and Cordelia, I think at the end he's just like, I mean, I love you, girl, and I'm like, okay.
Well, we're on the topic of Matthew. Does anyone remember from the Clockwork Princess family tree who Matthew is supposed to end up with? Because I'm realizing as I'm reading that I don't know who.
I don't remember
who it is. But also, Cassie has said an important thing to note, though, is Cassie has said that family tree is incorrect and doesn't necessarily reflect.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious because I remember all the other pairings. Oh, someone said he's not on it. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's not. I was gonna say because
interesting.
Yeah, he's not on it, which is what I was actually gonna say because someone was asking about Chain of Thorns theories. My theory is that he dies at the end.
No.
I fully think he's gonna die.
I see it. I could see it happening though.
Me too.
Which will be the worst because I love him and I think he's one of the best characters that's in the series. But I think he's gonna die.
Isn't Clary like descended from him?
Sorry, what was that?
Isn't Clary like a descendant from him?
From Matthew?
No,
I don't know.
But it can be,
or one of the Fairchilds.
From Charlotte. So she can still be descended from Charles.
Yeah.
And technically Matthew, but not Matthew's like line.
Right.
No, Hannah, why did you say that?
See, now that sounds so plausible, and now I'm hurting.
It's my main
I feel
theory.
like it's fact now. Like, I totally believe that too. Ew.
It's gonna happen. I know. I'm so
I really
sad.
believe that too now.
I know.
Honestly, yeah, I was thinking about that because I was like, wait. Because what's funny was that in my book reviewing discussion, I was listing like the couples, and then for Matthew, I sat there like, I was like, I don't know, and then I was like, I just want Matthew to be okay, but like in my head, I'm like, what happened if he dies?
Because like my thing is, I mean, we can talk about like spoilers from Clockwork, like the Infernal Devices, right?
Go for
Yeah.
it.
Okay, cool. Because like my thing is he can't end up like a silent brother like Jem. Like we've already done that. Like that can't happen. We can't have another situation that's like that. So the only like solution is that like he dies or like he becomes something else that's not a silent brother. But like how?
Yes, people are actually saying in the really quick Tiffany, just because it's related to Hannah. People are saying in the chat that Matthew is maybe going to become a downworlder or get his runes stripped. And someone else said Matthew could be exiled because Jem did say he performed an exile ceremony once. And that could have referred to like Robert and Mayrus Lightwood, but it also could be Matthew.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tiffany, go ahead with what you were going to say.
No, you're so fine. I was thinking like someone maybe has to die for Jesse to come back so he can be like a full person and then has a kid with Lucy. According to the family tree. So I don't know, but that's like super necromancy. That's just frowned upon, so we don't know.
I'm like sitting here like, oh my god.
I really are so good.
Oh man. I like how like it's been 16 minutes and we're jumping into theories. I was gonna save the theories part.
I'm sorry.
For like at the end. It's okay. I was thinking of that, but I was like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to be a bitch. I don't want to say that. I don't want to manifest that. Oh.
That's nuts.
Oh my god. I like this one. So so
wait, I hated Grace, but then her scenes with I forgot his name. It's not Tom. It's
Christopher.
I was like, this is so cute. Like he understands her. Granted, she's so freaking annoying, and like I loved watching James just go off at her. But if she gets some kind of redemption, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Oh my god, the live chat is happening too fast, and
it's popping off.
I know.
I was like, damn, this got dark fast.
Yeah, honestly, with Grace, oh my god, I forgot her name. With Grace, I'm glad that I read Red Chain of Gold before Chain of Iron because my opinions on Grace changed, and I'm so glad I did because I did not want to go into hate. I did not want to go into the second book hating her, and I'm glad I didn't. I was rooting for her, but she makes it hard for me to root for her at times. I'm like, sis, if you, because like the whole time she was like trying to tell James the truth, but then like we have the scene where I blame Tatiana, where she's being coerced into going to James' house and kissing him on that stuff. Again, I'm mad, but at the same time, I'm not gonna blame everything on her. I'm gonna blame it on her mom, Tatiana. I hate her so much. We can bitch about her later. But yeah, I was rooting for Grace, but again, she makes it so hard to like really root for her. But I do like the scene where she's with Christopher. I was like, wait, is this like the beginning of something new? Because it's on the family tree. Like them
they get married.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So did anyone hate Grace? I was gonna ask that. Did anyone hate Grace?
I really disliked her in Chain of Gold, but I definitely saw like potential in her to be like a really good character, but I was definitely really concerned with a lot of her actions. But reading a lot of the flashbacks and like having her perspective in Chain of Iron definitely changed my view of her to also like recognize how much of it is really Tatiana's fault and how she's manipulated Grace her entire life, manipulated and abused Grace her entire life. And that's turned her into who she is. And that's not to say that Grace isn't responsible, but for her own actions, but getting an understanding of her motivations of like needing to, fulfill what her mother wants for her and feeling like she can't do anything else, like definitely has softened me to her. And I think that also her relationship with Christopher, which is just adorable. And I am looking forward to more content from them. I think it'll really change Grace like all the way over. So I have more open feelings towards her than I did, and I have a lot of empathy for her, but I don't trust her. I guess that's what I'll say. I don't trust her.
I get that. And like the more I think about it is I think the reason why Grace is like all for doing the dirty work for Tatiana, there's this like power imbalance basically. Like Tatiana being like the one who's like her mom, she rescued her from the orphanage or whatever, because like she lost her parents. I'm talking about Grace, sorry. Grace lost her parents. She has she was with her cousin or whatever, but then Tatiana comes in and like rescue her. And now I feel like she feels indebted. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Like she feels like she owes everything to Tatiana. So like that, I think that's why she's doing all this dirty work. And the more I think about it, it's just genuinely sad. Because like Tatiana is obviously taking huge advantage of Grace and what she can do with like the siren ability, like her just like commanding men to do whatever she wants. Like obviously Tatiana doesn't give a crap about her. She just wants Grace to like make James fall in love with her and that stuff. So it's generally sad.
Yeah, I mean Tatiana like literally bought her from the Cartwrights, didn't she?
Yeah.
Like yeah, her story is like very sad, and I completely agree. Like I feel like I hated her in the first book so much, like so much, and in this one I definitely like I feel a lot more sympathy for her, and I understand like her perspective and where she's coming from. And I think the thing that made me understand her the most was I remember Cassie was talking about how like this book is very similar to like at least in like the setup of some of the characters, and especially Grace and Tatiana are very like Great Expectations, like Mrs. Havisham and Estella, and like seeing like that dynamic, like that parallel now makes me like understand her a lot more, I think. And like I have a lot more empathy for her at this point.
Yeah. I like this one too. Thoughts on feminism discussion and only. Honestly, I don't like the way Tatiana phrased it. I think it's mostly because there's a scene that's just so gross where she kind of exploit Grace's power. But the thing is, Grace was like 11 when she received the power. I think it was said that she got it a year after Jesse's death. She was 11, and like the fact that Tatiana brings her to Paris to like practice her power on older men, I was so disgusted, because it's like she's young. I'm not gonna blame Grace. She doesn't know any better. Tatiana, on the other hand, is the adult, so I will blame everything on her because she knows better. She knows what she's doing. So and then the whole I think it's in this context, I think it's BS because it's through child exploitation. When it comes to that, it's like, dude, Grace is 11, and in this book she's what, 16, 17? Still, she's young. Again, there's huge power imbalance. So like she's doing whatever it takes to make Tatiana happy, but it's like not ethical at all. So it's I don't know. And then I think there's like a part, I could be wrong, but I think it was Tatiana who kind of threw shade on Grace, being like, you're a girl, like you cannot do anything like that. I don't know, something like that.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I hate her so much. Oh my God. When did this happen? Is it James and Cordelia?
Yeah, that was James and Cordelia.
Honestly, whenever James and Cordelia, I'll probably look at Hannah because I know how much you love them.
Cordelia.
I love them an embarrassing amount.
What chapter is this, Hannah?
I think it's chapter 16. This is literally when Cordelia's like, I want you to teach me how to kiss. And then he's like, I need you closer. Yeah. When she's like tying him to the bed because they're trying to see if he's the one who's like committing these murders.
Hot. Loved it.
Wait, real quick. What I jokingly asked you, what chapter is this? And you said 16.
It's literally chapter 16. And you can check. I think I'm right.
I was joking, but honestly, no. When he said "sit on me" or something like that, I'm like, I was not ready. I was like, I want to text Andy, I want to text Tiffany, but like you guys were not there, so I was just sitting there like, oh my God, I have to suffer this by myself. I see a lot of comments regarding our Matthew, theory, and how he might be like, he connected to Charlie Brooke.
Oh. Is it? Is he connected to Herondales or something?
Oh.
Yeah, it's the Herondales. I'm not sure, but I have a
Yeah.
feeling that there will be things that Cassie's planted in this book that will come up in like the Wicked Powers. Like I have a feeling like that's the connection because the Dark
Yeah.
Artifices is already over. So
Yeah.
I feel like those are things that she's setting up for in this one.
Good. Is
When
she?
is Wicked Powers coming out?
I don't know. I was actually just talking today that I don't remember if Chain of Thorns comes out next or if the first book in the Wicked Powers, because I know that originally the Wicked Powers was supposed to come out first, but I think she switched it.
Yeah, but wow. What are we talking about? Sorry, my mind just shut down. I was like, oh no, this is happening during a live show. Johnny Rook. Yeah, I think he married into the Herondale, like the Lost Herondale.
Yeah.
That's
It's the Herondales.
But like we don't know anything about Johnny Rook. I remember Emma, you were talking about like his bio in the oh my god, what's that book? It's like the black book. It's like pretty.
Yeah. Listen, I still got theories about Johnny Rook and Ansel Nightshade. Something is not up about these two. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, because I remember you talking about it in Lady Midnight, your video on Lady Midnight, and you mentioned Johnny Rook and how this for species or something like that. It says
it says unknown, but I think that was just because we didn't know he was a Shadowhunter yet. I'm like, okay, what I wanted was cooler, but okay.
Yeah. Oh my god, should we jump into TDA? We might as well, bruh.
Wait, I forgot. Can someone re-explain this to me? I remember making this connection, but I can't recall it because I read the book like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
They Grace and Lucy go to see Malcolm to help them resurrect. Help them resurrect Jesse. And Grace tells Malcolm that Annabelle Blackthorne was killed. And so she's the reason that he knows and the reason that everything happens.
Yes, now I remember that. Wild.
I love how I love how interconnected all of it is. Like because you read TDA, you know these things.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why you have to read the whole series.
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's just best to read the books in publication order. Like now more than ever, I'm just like, you know what, it's a good way to read it because like you get to see the connections. And I realized that in this book we get to see Malcolm learning that Annabelle is dead. Like this is like his first time hearing it and just seeing his reaction. Because I remember, I think it was in Lord of Shadows. That's when he was doing his monologue, and then he was like, "I feel so betrayed," all that stuff, and then he was rescued by the Unseelie King, all these things. I need to reread those books because my memory's pretty bad. But yeah, in this book, Grace just drops a bomb like that, and I'm like, can you be more empathetic? Like knowing what Malcolm's gonna do, can you be like, can you please be nicer, please? Let's see, but. Yeah, like Annabelle. Actually, I do want to ask people in the live chat if you have read TDA already. Sorry for not giving a warning on the spoiler, but it's just I know that there's like a few people who have read like TLH, but they have never read TDA. But now TDA, like literally the spoiler for Lady Midnight is in this book. I mean, if you do know, like, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to make it worse. But yeah, I was shocked to see like the TDA references. I oh my god, sorry. But the first time that I noticed was Felix Blackthorne. He was mentioned, and I was like, wait, that's Annabelle's dad. And I hate the fact that I know it, I memorize it. Like I knew it.
I don't remember this.
Me neither.
Really? Okay. I knew it was like Felix Blackthorne, and then there was like little things here and there, and then eventually we get the name Annabelle. Her, remember her? It's been 3 years. I don't want to talk about her.
You know what I wanted to bring up? Was anyone else completely shocked to have Lilith come back? Because I was not expecting Lilith to be in this book. And that was just wild.
Like, it's been a while.
It's been a long time. I was not expecting her to come back.
I think so.
And also the whole Paladin thing, I was like, this is new.
Oh, okay. Should we go there?
There was like a full point in this book where I had no idea who anyone was because like everyone is shape shifting and can be other people, and it turns out that like everything was orchestrated by Lilith, and my heart was just like not prepared.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been since. Am I making sense? It's
City of
Fallen Angels.
No, because she like
Heavenly Fire.
she like came back a tiny bit for the, I think, City of Lost Souls to give Sebastian her blood for the cup. But she was in like the main book that she was in was City of Fallen Angels.
Okay, got it. Wow, I did not remember that.
It was a tiny part, and she wasn't like at her full power. But yeah, so it's been like 10 years of books basically since we got that.
Honestly,
my brain was also like not comprehending what was going on. I was like, wait, wouldn't Lilith and like Belial be on the same team? Like, why are they butting heads?
Yeah, she's mad that he's taking over her realm, and I get that. I like that too. I'm not gonna lie, I feel dumb because it's like, wait, these demons, like powerful demons, can just shapeshift. Like I didn't know that Lilith can do stuff like that. So I was like, wait, what? I don't know. It's probably like common knowledge, but I'm just sitting here like, wait,
well,
realize that.
Actually, if we remember in City of Fallen Angels, she presented herself differently than, like, she had like blonde hair and was like that band manager. So maybe like the greater demons have, or the princes of hell or whatever, are able to. But I think that most demons, unless you're like an Eidolon demon, you're like not able to. But I guess like Belial and Lilith and maybe Asmodeus are able to.
Yeah. Your memory's so good. I like don't remember anything from the main series anymore.
I've read it like 11 times. It's locked in at this point.
Oh my god. But
one other thing that I wanted to quickly say about Lilith is because someone in the comments, if I can find it, Lauren Hughes said, the Last Hours gang is going to Edom. In City of Heavenly Fire, it was revealed that Shadowhunters hadn't stepped foot in Edom in 100 years. So I wonder if that's something for Chain of Thorns, that maybe they're going back to Edom.
Oh my god, I hope not. I cannot do another hell dimension. I just can't.
There's so many now. There's so many hell dimensions.
I think right now we have three books where like the main characters go into hell dimension. And I don't know. I sound like a whiny baby. I'm like, no, that if it does happen, it'll be the 4th time. I can't do this anymore. I really cannot, because it's like, oh my god, this again. Sometimes it feels repetitive, so that's why
I agree with that.
Yeah, so like
for sure, sometimes it gets repetitive.
Like first time is City of Heavenly Fire, second time is Queen of Air and Darkness, third time is the Last Book of the White. And when we went into that, I was like, again. So, like, I really hope we're not gonna do that for Chain of Thorns, because it's like, no, I will literally like take a break from reading the book for like a week, and then be like,
I can see it coming though. I can see it happening.
I do too.
God,
it's gonna. Where that means it's like, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, back to Lilith. I actually want to ask this, but like basically, she changed into Magnus, but turns out it was not the real Magnus. I was gonna ask, did anyone pick up on the fact that Magnus was fake in this, or like you were just, you were like, wait.
I was
okay.
Sorry,
Hannah, no, you go first.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I was just too like consumed with the fact, like, oh my gosh, Magnus is here. He's gonna help everyone and save the day. And like, I remember like James mentioned that he noticed that Magnus's like magic was red instead of blue, and I completely missed that.
Yeah, it was really similar for me, Sandy. Like I remember like he showed up and I was like, finally, there's been no Magnus. Where has he been? He's in every book. And then he showed up. I was so excited that he was there. And then I do remember him like mentioning that his magic was red. And I was like, weird. But like I didn't think about it because I was like too like involved in what was going on. And then Lilith was like, I was Magnus the whole time. I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed the magic too. And something else that like really irked me while I was reading it is when Magnus and James are with Belial, and Magnus is like, you already have 2 strikes, you only need 1 more, whichever way it is. I was like, why would Magnus say that? Like, I was like, this is so random. And I was getting mad. I was like, why are these characters just dropping random hints? Like, I want to have a reason to find out information. And the reason that he knew that was because it was Lilith, and like so that made more sense for me in the end.
Yeah. I was honestly shocked. I was like, because like that whole battle scene, it was just like it was a lot. It was a lot of information.
It was a lot.
When Magnus shows up, no, when when basically we learned that Magnus was like Lilith the entire time, I was like, I hate it here. And then when James was like, yeah, I should have known like his magic color is different. I went back to like the part where like we see Magnus doing magic, and it says it was copper. So I was like, oh my god, I feel dumb. I didn't know. Like I really did not notice that. I just like I kept on reading, and I was just enjoying Magnus's presence because I always.
She lulled us into a false sense of security. That's exactly what happened.
That just sucks because I really love Magnus.
I also feel like I should have known because like when he showed up, he didn't say anything like exceptionally funny. Yeah. And I was like, Magnus always has jokes. He always has jokes, and we have no jokes. And I'm not really laughing. So
something's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love that scene. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh my god, that scene hurt me. That was one of the scenes I got really emotional at when Jem started playing the violin.
I don't think I cried, but I definitely got emotional because I was like, I did not expect to feel things. It was a lovely scene. I actually really love that scene. I like I underlined it, and then I was like, I tapped it pink. I was like, I want to remember this scene forever.
The weddings are always so good.
Yeah. And, yeah, like the fake marriage thing. I've said this I commented on Hannah's video, but I was like, I hate the fact that James is like husband material, daddy material, and he's in a fake marriage with Cordelia. What's up with that? Let's talk about that.
I was fully expecting their wedding to get disrupted. I was shocked that I like thought it was like a real decision to put it at the very beginning of the book. I thought it was going to be in the middle or the end.
Yeah.
And so because it was happening so early, I'm like, oh, like some demons are going to show up and like they're going to stop it midway. Like there's no way that this marriage is going to go through. And it was really surprising to me that instead of doing that, which I guess maybe is the obvious option, the disruption was Elias, who got really drunk and made a scene. And then James and Cordelia did get married. So we actually get that experience of them being married, which I thought was so adorable and wonderful. And like, it was definitely the best chance for the best option for the book.
And then them getting to like move in together, be all domestic and cute. And then James is like, this is so wonderful. I could do this forever. But like, I
was like, can you? Yeah, and dude, on their 2-week anniversary, he gives her a necklace of the globe. Again, husband material.
Can we talk about why did he say he says some line about like then I can tell her like the truth about the necklace or like what's inside the necklace or something like that. I don't remember what he says. Did anyone else catch that line like towards the end?
I don't think so.
He says something about like then I can finally tell her like the truth about the necklace or tell her what's inside the necklace. I can't remember what it is exactly, but there's like something about this necklace. And I want to know what it is.
There's always something about the necklace.
I'm getting
never
I
just
know
a
what it
necklace.
is. I'm getting
Never just a necklace.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I sorry, but it's probably around the part where he's like chasing Cordelia and Matthew, and then he's probably having his inner monologue about that whole thing. I don't know. I was too upset to like pay attention. I'm like, oh my god, he was right there. Then Will has to be like, your sister's missing.
Oh my god, I was like, well, can't you wait like 5 minutes? Like, would it really have been that bad?
But then James like,
no one wants you right now.
Yeah, and also I just remember the scene, but like this is the part that like kind of stands out to me. It's like I think we're like reading from James' POV, but he was talking about like the crushing disappointment that Will and Tessa might have if they were to like end their marriage in a year, because that's like their whole contract. And he was talking about Will's expression when he crosses his marriage rune on like his own son's chest or something like that. I was like, okay, it's one thing for like everyone to be upset. It's another thing for Will and Tessa to be upset because I love them so much. But yeah, I was like a little bit. Are you emotional too, Hannah?
Yes.
Yeah, but I was like, oh no, I forgot about Will and Tessa and how they will react to this whole marriage, because like they're so happy, and I get that, but like they don't.
I mean, I feel like we know that they would just be like, I'm just sad that you both are unhappy in this position. Like they're not definitely not the type to be disappointed by divorce. I feel like they're just going to be like, I'm so sorry that you felt that this was your only option and that you felt you couldn't tell us. Like that's exactly what their response is going to be when they do find out. But yeah, the weight of it all on everyone is just really harsh.
I just don't want Will to like have to deal with finding out that James was like under this spell the entire time and like being manipulated, because I feel like it would break him, and I don't want to deal with that.
I feel like he'd just go into like a rage.
Honestly, I think he's
and then you'd be like, "Ooh, daddy, ooh."
I want him to yell at Tatiana. I want him to go to her house, being like, "Why'd you do that?" So this one's about Lucy.
I love Lucy. I was like kind of disappointed because I was like, I want more Lucy and Jesse scenes, but I also thought that them admitting their feelings for each other happened pretty early on. Like I was expecting more yearning in the same way that we had like a lot of yearning in book one. But I was having so much secondhand embarrassment for Lucy that when like Jesse started reading her like books and was like, is this me? And I was like, oh yeah, it is you. This is so cringe. But like, please just confess your love.
He literally found her fan fiction and started reading it. Like imagine, I could never live down that embarrassment. And not at all.
No, I love Lucy. She's one of my absolute favorite characters. And it maybe in like the whole Shadowhunter Chronicles, I just think that she is just like so innocent and determined and like a good person.
She's funny too.
I also really love that like her weapon of choice is the axe.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Sweet little brunette girl with an axe. And I see people.
I was gonna say I feel like a lot of people forget that tidbit, but like I saw a post being like, "Hey, just a reminder: Lucy's weapon of choice is an axe." I'm like, "Thank you for reminding me," because I forget.
So badass.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I know TRINH was talking about the yearning, and someone else was like, I wish that Jesse and Lucy were more slow burn, and I'm like, you really like he's dead. Like I feel like there's no greater like obstacle in a relationship than one of them being dead. But now, like he's back, right? That's like the ending. He's like alive, but we don't know the repercussions of it.
Yeah. We can definitely answer this one because I even at the end I literally wrote, is Jesse working for Belial or whatever? I was so confused because like at the end it feels like that, like he's alive now, but then he takes Lucy away. So I was like, maybe I don't, but I'm confused to be honest regarding the ending.
Honestly, at that point, I was just so impacted by like the whole James, Matthew Cordelia thing. My brain was not functioning for the epilogue.
Same.
Like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah.
I felt kind of similarly though. I think like I was thinking like maybe Jesse is kind of working with him. Like it's potentially where the story is headed, but at the same time, like more than anything, I feel like he's just being used and he doesn't even know it. But
yeah, wait, which
also... Go ahead.
No, continue. I had a question when you're done.
No, ask your question. I'm done.
No, I was just saying which part are we talking about that Jesse is possibly working with Belial? Because I thought that Belial was controlling him.
Yeah, like when Lucy like passes out, and then like it's right before, I think it's right before or maybe right in between when all the train stuff is happening. Like right before he goes to the train station. There's like an interlude chapter, I think, or something like that. But yeah, it's like is it Malcolm and Jesse like take Lucy somewhere and they don't know where she is. That section. It just like seems a little bit suspicious because for some reason Jesse seems like he might be like he might know more than he's letting on. So yeah.
Yes. Now I'm remembering. Thank you so much, Anna.
This whole live is just a reminder that I need to go back and reread this book.
There's never enough time in the world to reread all of Cassie's books.
I know.
There's never enough time.
I'm not gonna lie, after reading Chain of Iron, I was just missing the Shadowhunter Chronicles. So right now I'm rereading the entire thing. But I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna be so slow and I'm just gonna like I'm gonna listen to the audiobook mostly. So like whenever if there's one available, I just listen to it. But other than that, I'm not gonna be like too stressed out about reading everything. But yeah, I was missing this world and the characters and like the setting on itself. I was like, wow, who would have thought? It's been 3 years. It's been 3 years since I've reread everything. So
it's just so wild. Because like, when did you guys read your first Shadowhunter book? Because for me, it was like middle school.
Me too.
I read mine.
I was just like growing up with them
in high school.
Yeah, I was in high school too.
But like, do you remember the year to be specific?
2013.
2013 as well. Yeah.
2010.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
A long time ago. I think 2010 too.
2013, because that's when like I started reading for fun. Like, so I was like, oh, okay, this is a fun series. Wow.
Also, interesting.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, back to the conversation about Jesse that we were talking about. People in the comments are reminding us that in the epilogue, Belial tells Tatiana that Jesse played his part excellently. So that I do remember that when I was reading, I was like, "What do you mean played his part?"
Jesse, don't give me a reason to not like you.
No, I can't take this heartbreak.
Oh my god,
he just definitely knows more. He knows something else.
No, I don't want to think about it. I know, because I just believe Jesse's a good person. Because now my feelings for him, like, I don't want that to happen. Because I genuinely believe that he's a good person. But now it's like, wait, have you been working with Belial the entire time? Because I don't know.
I had the theory that Tatiana was working with Belial very early on, like when they were talking about this like stranger. I was like, I feel like this is Belial. So I mean, I feel like there's some potential that Jesse could have gotten involved over the years that Tatiana and Belial have been working together.
Wow. Yeah, and then also real quick, another reason why I hate Tatiana is because like she sends a warlock to put the charm on Jesse when he was young, because like normally it's supposed to be a silent brother, but of course she doesn't trust silent brothers, so like she has a warlock doing it for Jesse. But it's because of that he dies, because Belial sends the warlock to put an anchor in him, and since the first rune was put on him, he died from that. So I was like, oh, okay, so more reason to hate your mom. Got it. Sorry, I really hate Tatiana. It's like the more I think about it, the angry I get. Yeah, because she's so petty. Like the like, if you think about it, like the way she orchestrates everything, it's just because she's mad at Will, Gideon, Gabriel, Jem for killing her dad and her husband. There's just something about it. I'm like, but like, you're wrong.
As much as I hate Tatiana, though, I think I hated Zora more in TVA.
I was actually about to ask, who does everyone hate more? Her or
I definitely
Tatiana?
hate Zara the most. Definitely
Me too.
hate Zara the most.
Actually, earlier I saw a comment saying Tatiana and Zara are top tier trash.
Yes,
they are.
I think Zara. I don't know. I think for her, it's more like we see her in like 2012, so it's like around the time that we're in right now, and it's just like her belief is like kind of gross and racist, and like so it's like things where we're like, hey, you suck. You have no redeeming quality. With Tatiana, it's more like her belief is completely
just
wrong.
evil.
Yeah,
also
just
with
evil.
Tatiana, she's like just so desperate for like her idea of vengeance at this point. She's willing to be manipulated by dark forces.
Yeah. It's her own fault.
Yeah, and then also like the fact that she kind of she harms Grace and Jesse too. Like Jesse dies because of Belial. Come on now.
And like it's one thing, like everyone is like, oh, Grace is manipulating James, but also it's like Tatiana is the one who is manipulating James through Grace, and Grace of course has some responsibility there for keeping it up, but like Tatiana is the reason.
I need a showdown between Tatiana and Will.
Oh yeah,
just like Will understanding everything, just going off.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, Will, just yell at her. Like, yeah, I think I said this, but like, if Will knows that James has been under a spell for years because of Tatiana, I know for a fact he's gonna confront her.
Don't be pissed.
I want Miss Cassandra Clare. I'm about to email her. Can you put in this scene? Can you put in a book? If not, can you write like an extra scene with this whole thing? Yeah, here's an idea.
And what I see a lot of people talking about that we haven't talked about yet, we've touched on like almost every major couple except for Alistair and Thomas.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear people's thoughts on them.
I love them. And the jail scene was like one of my favorite scenes in the book.
They're
Mine
so
too.
cute.
The fact that Alistair was hailing Thomas because he was like, he knew he was going out to patrol on his own and like didn't trust him to not get into trouble. So, so cute.
Yeah.
The line, "You were my secret," was so good. It was so good. Like, oh, it was so good.
I love that one. And I also loved when Thomas is like, I guess I'm asking if you're like me. I'm like, my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think they're so cute. And Alistair is another one whose arc and redemption arc I've really been enjoying. Like I thoroughly like him as a character, and it's nice to have someone that's not so likable in the cast, because I feel like everyone else in the cast is like so easily lovable. Like Alistair is someone you have to kind of work to love, I think, sometimes based on what he's done. But I think that he's really like changing and becoming more authentic and honest with the people around him. So I really, really love Alistair now.
I'm trying to find the part where they're together, but like since this book is so long, I don't know. But I like the part where, oh my god, I forgot how this conversation went, but basically Thomas was asking like Alistair, like, are you like me or something like that? And then Alistair is like, no, because you're better, you're like nicer, and you're all these things. I'm like, stop, you guys are hurting my it's a really great scene. I really love Thomas and Alistair. Like I ship them so hard. And then the part where Thomas is, oh yeah, we can definitely talk about Bridgestock and how this man is honestly so gross. But like Thomas gets accused of murder, and then we're like, wait, what are you talking about? He's so nice. And then like Alistair comes in and saves the day in a way. It's just like, it's cute. Like I really love them.
Oh, I just saw the comment about the reverse mermaid. That
Me too. I was dying. It was so funny.
Like, this is so on brand for Matthew.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Wait, did I find it? Oh my god. But yeah, okay, so we can definitely talk about Bridgestock, because this man has no chill. Like he just
comes. The Inquisitor.
Yeah, that makes it worse. Like I don't know, a person in power abusing it, throwing a tantrum, being a man child. We hate to see it, but
did you guys anticipate? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, you go.
I was gonna say, like, related to that, did you guys anticipate the like killer to be Jesse?
No,
never.
I thought of so many things, and Jesse.
I thought it was James.
I did too.
I thought it was someone with James' face, because I'm like, I don't think it's him, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's actually Belial, and he happens to have James' face. I don't know. I was just having weird theories, but I never thought it was gonna be Jesse. That hurt my feelings.
At first, I thought it was Philomena, because like Cassie just introduced this character, and she keeps like showing up at a bunch of different scenes, and then she died.
She just didn't die.
I thought that Philomena was gonna have a much bigger role, and then like the next, like I said that in my vlog, I was like, I really think that Philomena is gonna be important, and then the next scene she dies, and then we have like one other scene with her, and that's like it. And I'm like, I thought this girl was supposed to be important.
Yeah,
I thought she was gonna be like the next Jessamine.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, I feel bad. I really thought she was gonna be a big deal. It's because in the
dedication. Yeah, it's to Rick Riordan.
Yeah, to Rick. That's so cute. She used the name D'Angelo. I was like, oh my god, that's so cute.
And he used Magnus.
Yeah,
he dedicated Magnus Chase to her because she let him use Magnus.
Yeah, I think it's really cute. Yeah. And then she dies. I was like, wait, that was quick. Like I feel like it happened within like the first 200 pages. So
yeah,
for me it was like, oh, that sucked, because like I have a feeling I was gonna say Miss Cassandra Clare. Oh my god, like she's a teacher.
Miss Cassandra Clare.
I have a feeling Miss Cassandra Clare, like I don't know. I don't want to say that she gets rid of characters that quickly, like get rid of disposable kind of characters. Because I see it a few times, like in Queen of Air and Darkness, like the way she kill off certain characters is because they're like side characters. Like we don't see them a lot, so if they die, then we don't miss them because we don't see them a lot. So like with Philomena, I think it's because she's a new character and we just gonna kill someone, so let's kill her. And I was like, well, that sucks.
Have we had a main character die?
Yeah.
Not in a
Because
long
now I just keep going back to
time.
Hannah's theory.
That's what I'm
I'm like,
saying.
I know,
We're
that's why I
overdue.
believe
We are
Matthew.
overdue.
But I feel like if it happens, it will happen very like flawlessly, and I'm like, it's gonna be one of those bittersweet things. It's gonna be like Will's death all over again. I'm like, I hate it here, but I love it here.
Ready for
I
it.
know. I know.
I don't know what you're talking about Will's death. What was that?
Like back in Clockwork Princess, when like,
I
Will
know,
died,
bro.
it was like
No,
the sweetest
what?
death, but it was just so heartbreaking.
Oh my
I
God,
love Anna and Ariadne.
yeah.
I had problems with Anna in this book. I love them. I want them to be happy together, but I feel like Anna just like keeps like bringing her in a little bit and then being like, "Well, I don't want you anyways. We can't be close anymore." And I'm like, "That's not fair to Ariadne." Like, yes,
Yeah.
she hurt you, and you don't have to forgive her if you're really hurt, but
Yeah.
like Anna is the one that's like making the first move and kissing her, and then she like pushes her away. And like, that's not
Mhm.
fair. This girl is really trying for you.
Yeah, and she even admitted that she, wants to do better and that she's trying to pursue Anna, but, like you said, Emma, she's just kind of bringing her in and then pushing her away.
And
I
makes
really
me mad
like
because I
their-
love Anna.
Yeah, I like their
Yeah.
relationship a lot because I just think it's like, just that dynamic is like super realistic to me. And specifically the scene where I think it's Anna who like, it's like the last scene they have together in the book, and Anna like walks away from her and then she just like starts crying. Like I felt the emotion of that so deeply. Like it was just such a good scene. And I want them to be happy and I want Anna to like sort through her feelings. So good.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
I was very frustrated with Anna because like before going to this book, I was like, I love her in Chain of Gold. I thought she was a bad bitch, and that's why I really love her. So in this book, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have like the Anna and Ariadne kind of thing, and then eventually it was so frustrated because of the way she kind of discards Ariadne, like the whole thing where like Ariadne comes up to her in like a public space and Anna just like walks away. Like I was like kind of hurt. Be like, okay, I know that she hurts you, but that was years ago. She's trying to like redeem herself, but you're making it very hard for her to, I don't know, like fix her mistake. And then in the finale, but by that point I was so frustrated because Thomas and Alistair did not work out. And then we have Anna and Ariadne not working out because Ariadne was just kind of fed up. And honestly, I don't blame her because like this book is so long and like it's to the point where like Anna is just like being like, you know what, no, we cannot be together. And Ariadne was like, you know what, fine, let's not be together at all. And I was like, oh, are you serious? Are you serious? My first couple is not working out. I'm relying on you guys and you're not working out as well. And then in the next chapter, James and Cordelia did not work out. So all of my favorite romantic couples don't work out in this book. I was hurt. Oh, we're not gonna acknowledge that TDA spoilers. We're not gonna, I don't see that. We're not gonna acknowledge that. Oh, let me see. It'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, we are getting a series with Ty and Kit.
Mm-hmm. And so Tabby will definitely be older in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I have a feeling Tabby will be in it because like Tabby is the brother of Ty.
But Tabby was just so cute and adorable in TVA, just like a little child.
Yeah. We haven't talked about the bracelet.
Ooh.
I feel like
Okay.
it's his feelings, but
Well,
there you go.
it cracked because after he kissed Grace, he punched like the wall or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's why it originally cracked. And then they're like making out and it just like breaks completely and falls off. And my guess is because it like hits against the desk or something like that. So it completely broke. But like the thing I'm confused about is that like he already like was kind of breaking out of this spell or whatever, because if he gave her that necklace that supposedly has something inside of it that early on before the bracelet even like had a crack in it, he had to have already been like coming out of it somehow. And that's what I like don't get, like how that works out. But yeah, I'm just so happy it's off of him.
Yeah, my conceptualization of it is that like because James's feelings for Cordelia were so real and like have like they developed well before James realized it to himself. So my thought is like because it was so powerful, it could overtake Grace's spell. So it was like weakening over time, and then with the events, that is initially what broke it off.
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe in this book, Grace also like talks about how like the fact that James' love for Cordelia is so strong that the bracelet is able to break off. Because like I think Belial was the one who created the bracelet, and then I think like the enchantment is supposed to be like really strong. So the fact that James was able to break it off was like a good thing. But then like afterward he passed out, so I was so confused. So I was like, am I supposed to be happy because like the bracelet is off, but the man is passed out? I don't know how to feel. Let me see. Wait, real quick. Sorry. I feel like we mentioned Bridgestock, but now I definitely want to talk more about him because like it's just like the way he behaves in this book is so gross. Like he accused Thomas of murder. Like even though there's evidence, but still it's more of like the fact that Thomas is there at the wrong time, at the wrong place. That's basically it. But it's just like I don't know, it's the fact that he doesn't really give Thomas an honest chance. And I don't know if you guys picked up, but like Bridgestock like really hates James in particular.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and then also so as I was reading the arc, so this is I read the arc, I finished the arc before the book comes out like officially. So I looked him up, Bridgestock, on the Shadowhunter wiki, because I was like, I don't know, like the only thing I know is that he's like the dad of Ariadne and he's the Inquisitor. That's basically it. So there was like a story where we see Matthew and James becoming parapetite when they're super young, and Bridgestock is there. Bridgestock pulls Matthew to the side, and he's trying to convince Matthew to not become a parapetite of James because of James' heritage, like his demonic heritage, the fact that Tesser's a warlock, and the fact that he's like a shadow hunter, but you know he's like connected to Belial, all that stuff. So I think Bridgestock like genuinely hates James, and Lucy too probably, is because like they're like related to Belial, like a prince of hell, and it makes sense. So I literally said, hey, he kind of reminds me of Dearborn.
Yeah, I think he's just like speciesist. Like I think he just has a real fear of anything associated with downworlders or demons, and that makes sense as to why. But I also I on a similar note, I love that line for Lucy when I think she was talking to maybe Jesse or Matthew, and someone was talking about how like Belial has such an interest in James and not Lucy, and Lucy's like, it's because he doesn't think that women like are powerful. That's why Belial doesn't care about her. And I feel like maybe the same could be said about Bridgestock, because he seems to care much more about James than Lucy.
Got it. Man, there's always some sexism in this book.
Always.
But at the same time, it kind of makes sexism does not make sense. I will say, but like, regarding like the setting and the time, it's like of course we have characters who think this way, you know. People are talking about like having good inquisitors because like Dearborn is gross, Bridgestock is gross, Roberts is actually pretty good.
Someone way earlier, or I think Maddie put a quote, I don't know who you were kissing, James, but it wasn't me.
Oh,
Was that with Grace or was that with Cordelia? I forgot.
That was
I
with
think
Grace.
that was with Grace.
Yeah, Grace said that.
Good quote. Good quote.
Very good quote.
I think, did we discuss everything that happened? Because I feel like it's just a lot, and the problem is like, did we?
Yeah, it's so much.
I feel like I could scream about the ending like for the longest time.
Yeah. I think now we can definitely like coming to like an ending of this live show. So I wanted to ask, what's everyone's favorite scene of Chain of Iron?
Ooh, I think mine is the Paris scene of like Cordelia and Matthew running away and James like being there, because I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but Cassie releases playlists for each song that she writes, and I just did not decide to listen to the Chain of Iron one until the last like 70 pages of the book.
Mm-hmm.
But the playlist, I had it on shuffle, and I feel like every song like leading up to that scene just fit so perfectly. And then the song that was playing while I was reading the train scene was Paris by the Chainsmokers, and I like do not like Paris by the Chainsmokers. Like I do not like that song, but it fit this scene so well that I was very overwhelmed. So that will always be like a big like takeaway moment for me. Like my heart is racing. Like I can't believe all of this is happening. So I think that's my favorite.
Okay. Anyone can go.
I have to think about it. There were so many good scenes.
Yeah, there was a lot. I already mentioned that like the jail scene between Thomas and Alistair was my favorite. But one of like a more lighthearted scene, it still has to do. It was like the mortal sword when Will was like questioning Thomas, and he asked something about like Gideon owing him money. I just thought that was like very.
That was so funny.
Yeah,
that got me to laugh out loud.
Yeah, honestly, like now that I think about it, it kind of sucks that Will and Tessa are like missing in this book because they're in Paris with Charles. But man, when they come back, the sense of like relief that I get when we see Will coming in with a sword, I'm like, I miss you.
I'm like, they're my parents. I need them back for the Sons of Comfort.
They'd be like, your kids did a lot of horrible stuff. Please come back.
I think I really like as much as I hated it, I also really loved the end because it was just so like, I just like when something makes me feel a lot, and that made me feel so many emotions. So I was like, God, I'm suffering, but also like, this is all I wanted. Like I'm reading for this, let's be honest. But another like smaller scene that was my favorite personally probably was when they're at James and Cordelia are at dinner at her with her parents, and James like starts speaking Farsi. I was like, you learned Farsi for I was literally ready to like
marry you,
marry him, go into this book, like meet these characters in person, because I just loved it so much. It was so good. It made me so happy. So
yeah, again, he's the perfect husband. I like the more thing about it, the more like ridiculous it seems, because it's like, dude, he's in a fake marriage with this girl. However, he's like a simp.
Yeah, he like designed that whole house for her. Like like so much thought for Cordelia put into that house. I'm like, honey, you were so in love with her and you don't even understand it.
Yeah.
So in love with her, refuses to acknowledge it.
Yeah. Tiffany?
Definitely also the ending. I just, because I listened to the audiobooks, right? So once I got to like the last couple chapters, I literally was lying on my bed, just like laying there listening to the audiobook, and I was like that meme with tears streaming down my face. But as like smaller chapters, I just live for every scene with Lucy and Jesse. So probably like when she gets exposed for writing fan fiction about them.
Yo, there is like nothing that compares to when you are about to finish a book and listening to the audiobook and you're just like sitting still, laying down on your bed. Like that is always a very intense moment.
I feel like that's why I can never like do a reading vlog. So it's like, what would you get? Just me lying there.
No, but real quick, if you do a video where you just like lie on your bed, listen to the audiobook, and just like look up at the ceiling, people would be like, I relate. Because I'd be like, I relate.
I mean, I feel like the majority of my vlog footage was literally just me like gasping as I was like everything, and I left so much of it in there.
Honestly, I'm like surprised that you kind of predicted this book in the beginning of the vlog. I was like, wait, how?
I predicted the ending of this book in the middle of Chain of Gold.
How so?
Because I just knew. Like, I knew when we first got this, like, new love triangle, like, because it was right after the Whispering Room scene. And I was like, okay, Matthew's in love with her. We are literally going to have the same thing happen again. And James and Cordelia are not going to end up together at the end of the second book. It's going to be Matthew and Cordelia. And we're just going to repeat the same cycle again. And I knew
I feel like that's
right.
Because I feel like that's also a pattern like Cassie loves to do. Like, what other pain is there in a love triangle than the guy giving him up for like his greatest platonic love?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you guys did a live show with Cassandra Clare. Yeah, that was so cool. I was like, yo, they did a live show with Cassandra Clare.
Amazing. It was so
so nice.
Yeah, and I remember she said that the ending of Chain of Iron is like gonna be like heartbreaking. It's gonna be similar to Clockwork Prince. I was like, oh my god.
And it was.
It was.
Yeah. I feel like it's like more heartbreaking than actually, I don't know. Both are heartbreaking.
I don't know. This one and Clockwork Prince are really similar in my mind. Like,
yeah,
they both like hit in the same spot.
I don't know if you guys feel this way, but I feel like this one hurt a little bit more because James comes off as a little more immature than Will did in Clockwork Prince. So this one just feels more like heightened emotions.
Okay,
that's fair. I feel like this one, you go, Hannah.
I think for me, like, the pain that I felt in Clockwork Prince was way more intense. In this, I was just more angry because I was like, all you need to do is communicate for like 5 seconds and you can resolve all of this. That like wasn't the solution in Clockwork Prince. Like they didn't have that option. So yeah, I think that's why that one hurt me more than this.
Yeah, I definitely understand that, Hannah, because the reason that this all happened is because like James said, like, I've never loved a
like,
Grace.
oh, thank God.
Way. Whatever he said, like he just didn't finish his sentence, and that's the only reason why this happened. So there's definitely anger there, but I think what also affected me really harshly about this ending scene was that James has a decision between Lucy and Cordelia, and he chooses Lucy, and I think like that's what really hits me about this scene is that like. James has the opportunity, like he can go and stop, but he knows he has to choose his sister because that's what's most important to him, and so that's something that feels like an additional like heartbreak for this ending.
Yeah, and also like I feel like we haven't talked about Cordelia a lot. We talk about everyone except Cordelia, and she's like she's one of my faves. But I was kind of like honestly like when I was reading the book towards the end, and of course, I was kind of frustrated that Cordelia just runs out and then eventually she goes to Paris with Matthew. But I think more about it and I'm like, I'm not going to blame her for how she reacts because I feel like by the end of this book, she's at her lowest. Like so many bad things happen to her. Her dad died. Oh yeah, that sucks. Her dad freaking died. She finds out that she's the paladin for Lilith. That is also horrible because like, we know how much being a hero means to her. And she has to give up Cortana. I'm pretty sure she gives up the sword to her brother. And then she believes that James is still in love with Grace. So that's like 4 horrible things. And then I think at the end, when she's given an opportunity to just run away to Paris, she takes it. And again, I don't blame her. Like she's at her lowest. Like so many bad things happen to her throughout the entire book. And at the end, like you can tell she's numb. She's just out of it. She's just like, okay. Yeah. And I feel bad. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad for her. Okay. Okay. I think we're almost at here. We've been here for so long. My favorite scene, I sound like a pervert. I like it when James and Cordelia like make out on the bed. I'm like, oh my God, finally. It was a
valid choice.
It was a good scene. I'm like, I did not expect this, but I'm here for it. I'm not going to complain. No way. And then I also like Thomas and Alistair, like the jail scene too. It's so cute. So do we have time to go into like the prediction of Chain of Thorns? We kind of talk about Matthew, but I definitely see this happening. I really hope so. But basically, James and Cordelia, they don't have their second room. And they're supposed to do that privately, but they never did. So I think that they're gonna do it in the 3rd book. And that's gonna be like their real vow because it's for themselves. I really hope that happened. Because I'm like, dude, by the end, I realized, wait, they have never done their second room. They're gonna do it in the 3rd book, right? Because like hopefully they'll be together for real. They both know that they love, like they both know that like they love each other, and then they're going to put on their official rune privately. Like I need that to, or else I'm not reading the third book. Yeah. So does anyone have any predictions for Chain of Thorns?
Well, now I think Matthew's going to die thanks to Hannah.
I'm sorry. You can all blame me if it happens.
Yeah.
Now I kind of like want to see it happen.
I know where you're coming from, because I'm like, I don't want him to die because I love him, but at the same time, like I feel like this is what the story needs, you know? So
No, I agree. It's high time a main character dies. Like I felt a little let down in Queen of Air and Darkness because I didn't feel like any like main character died, and I feel like that's something that Cassie needs to upkeep with having such huge series with many characters. So I definitely agree that Matthew dying, as much as it would hurt me, I think would be like the best option for the book, like for the emotional impact and for Cassie to take like risks like that as an author.
I
love. Oh,
you go.
Okay, I was saying like I love Queen of Air and Darkness and Clockwork Princess, but I feel like the ending of how they resolve defeating the enemy just feels a little too easy. Like granted, like I think in Queen of Air and Darkness they become like giant angel-like things, but I was like, that's really like too easy to like have everyone end up okay in the end.
I do remember, I think in Chain of Gold, I distinctly remember putting like a page tab on this thing where Cordelia has like a vision of something on James's back. So I don't know if that's just representing Belial, but I think I have the sense that something will happen in Chain of Thorns where like something related to that vision, I think is going to come up. And also I want to find out why Bridget is so old. I want to find that out in Chain of Thorns. Why is she alive?
Yeah, like she's still alive.
I need to know.
Yeah.
What is she?
Yeah. And honestly, I was gonna comment that if Matthew does die, I can't say it. If he does go, then he better like die as a hero. Like it's like you need to like make his. I don't want to manifest this, but I'm just saying, like he like it needs to be like I don't want to say epic, but it just
it's to be like a worthy sacrifice.
Yeah.
For something.
Yeah, sure. I don't want to say it. It's just like if I keep talking about this, I will cry. You'll be funny. Next year, I'll do I do a live show for Chain of Thorns, and we're just like we will look like clowns next year.
Like, Hannah, you predicted this. How dare you?
Yeah. All
Like,
Hannah's fault.
Like the way we started the live show, we're just sitting there like oh sad, being like, hey, so it's been a year since our last live show, and guess what? Our theories are right, but it's not in a good way whatsoever. It'd be funny. Actually, it'd be funny. It'd be so sad. Honestly, I was gonna. Oh yeah, you go.
Sorry, I was gonna say like this isn't really a theory, but I really want like some fun scenes of Cordelia and Matthew in Paris, like eating baguettes, being like touristy, being really cute.
Yeah.
No kisses, just cuteness and being friends, please.
Yes.
Oh my god, just watch. I don't want to talk about it again. I don't want to manifest this even more. I was gonna ask. I feel like we've been doing this for so long, but last but not least, prediction for the cover of Chain of Thorns. I think James will be on it. I was gonna mostly ask about like the color scheme because the first one is green. This one is like yellow and blue, maybe purple.
Purple
for the third. Yeah, cool.
So I have two pieces of potential information. So I did and in addition to the live show that me, Hannah, and Jenny did for the Tea Party for Chain of Iron, I hosted one of her events that was like a Zoom event for Barnes & Noble. And I asked her if she knew who was on the cover yet, and she said that it's between two people. So it's between two people. And something that Cassie has said in the past is that like the publisher likes to do, and Cassie, I think like they have a trend of doing villains on the last cover. So like with City of Heavenly Fire, it was Sebastian on it, and Queen of Iron Darkness was Annabelle, and like Annabelle wasn't like a main character; she was the villain. So one of my theories is I think one of them could be Grace. I think one of them could be Grace to keep the theme of like all women on these covers. But I feel like James is another big. James and Matthew are also like contenders.
Yeah. When you said villain, I was like, Tatiana? I don't want to see her on the cover.
I know, right? That's why I'm like, I don't want any of the villains. None of the villains are like as memorable and stuff as like other villains, I think.
Yeah, and it is called Grace of Thorns, so Grace would make sense.
Oh,
that's big brain energy right there. Yeah.
Cracking the code.
Mind. Oh my god. But I don't know. I kind of want it to be James, mostly because it makes sense. The three main characters of the series, James and Cordelia.
It could be Jesse.
I would love to see Anna, but Anna's not prominent of enough of a character, in my opinion. And I wish she was. I need more Anna page time, and I feel like compared to the other characters, she does not get the same attention.
Yeah, and I feel like if we do see her, I don't want her to piss me off. Like, hey, please be nice to like the love of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If Grace is on the cover, I imagine like a really stunning like white cover.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty.
Like I think her hair's like blondish, like silver, something like that. I don't know. So we'll see. I'm pretty sure Cassandra Clare will review the cover in a few months. I actually I stalk her Instagram page. I was like, when did she review Chain of Iron? Wait, I think she did a live show. No,
she did it. Yeah, I did it with her on her Instagram.
And then she shows off Chain of Iron, and people drag like the book cover on book Twitter. But I like it. I don't hate it.
I love it. I think it's stunning.
Yeah, I personally like it.
I
just like the color. I like the shade of blue and the yellow.
But I like Chain of Gold more than Chain of Iron.
Yeah.
I think so too. I love Chain of Gold, but
me too.
Chain of Iron's really pretty.
Honestly, I'm not freaked out by the mouth at all. So that's why I was not bothered by this. I really like the color scheme. So that's why I was like, I like this book cover. I don't hate it. Okay. Is that everything? Oh my god, we've been here for so long. So it's time to wrap this up. I'm getting hungry. I'm pretty sure everyone else here is very hungry. Last but not least, I do want to say thank you so much to Sandy and sorry about that, Sandy, Emma, Tiffany, and Hannah for taking an hour and a half of your day to like be in this live show with me. Thank you everyone for watching the live show and participating in the live chat. It means a lot to me. I had this idea to do a Chain of Iron live show like mid-February. And I really wanted to make it happen. And I'm so glad that I did, to be honest, because I put a lot of stress on myself for this live show. But honestly, I had a lot of fun. I hope everyone had a lot of fun. Again, thank you so much for showing up and just being Shadowhunter trash. And just like, I just love talking about these books with everyone. So it's really fun. So
thank you so much for hosting, TRINH.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you did a great job. And thank you all for participating and watching.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. So that's it. Again, I will have the links to everyone's Chain of Iron content in the description box below. Our channels will be down in the description box below as well. So thank you so much. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I'll see you guys later. We'll see everyone. Sorry.
Bye.
Goodbye.